Now to the latest in our ongoing investigation into the health of Austin's 911 center. It's budget season, and Austin police now say adding new emergency call center staff is a top priority.
That decision is the core of an internal report KXAN revealed last week that predicts a staffing crisis within 2 years. But investigator Robert Maxwell was at today's Public Safety Commission where the shocker came down. Those positions may not be coming this year as expected.
Commissioner's jaws dropped when Assistant Chief Manley confirmed the proposed 2015 police budget makes no mention of a single new 911 call taker or dispatcher.
So if I understand, what you're saying is we don't have these positions, they're not in our proposed budget, but we need them. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Instead, 36 critical new jobs are listed as unmet needs, $2.9 million worth. The reason appears to be timing. The call for new 911 staff comes months after the city manager's deadline for APD's and other departments' so-called critical needs lists. This year's forecast has the city considering 59 new officers and dealing with the costs of rising health insurance and fleet fuel. And in a first, Assistant Chief Manley says overworked dispatchers are at the root of longer police response times.
I think a lot of those issues will be addressed in the comprehensive 911 call center analysis that's in its draft form right now.
Call center sources say some dispatchers regularly juggle dozens of police units at once. Last year, the police goal was to get to your emergency call within 7 minutes. The reality? 7 minutes, 30 seconds. And that's why a recent internal report from Police Communications has become the workbook on how to fix an emergency call center, where the last truly new positions were added 12 years ago, where the number of short-term sick leaves is rising, where refusing mandatory overtime can lead to discipline.
I think it's outrageous. I think it's unfair to the community. I just think it's just plain nuts.
In Austin, Robert Maxwell, KXAN investigates.
One solution the commissioners heard is to pare back the request for the 59 new officers and redirect some of that money to 911. All budget requests must get approval from the city manager and ultimately city council members later this summer. The new budget year begins in October. Well, putting this in further context, 911 managers have been asking for call takers and dispatchers funding for several years now. In 2012, city documents show there was a request for 26 new positions. But there was no funding for that, and none of the positions were filled. Last year, there was a request for 10 call takers and 6 supervisors. Again, no funding and no positions were filled.